My name is Jacob Kasdan, and you're listening to episode 68 of Who's on Top.
Oh yeah, Jacob. This is episode 68 of Who's on Top, and it is Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. And it's episode 68 of Who's on Top. Already said that. All right. And I'm your new host for today, and it's starting off smoothly.
Roar and start with our new host here.
I know. We got our, usual segment coming. Oh, I got to introduce the regulars. I see I'm not built for this, but it's okay. I wanted to try it. First up, we got the fencing captain, Jeremy Giles.
Hello, yes, as always at your service.
Next up, we got MLB The Show enthusiast, Jacob Kasdan.
What's up, guys? Let's talk some sports. Didn't think that was going to be me, but okay.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be me.
Oh, sorry. The last I heard was you talking about MLB The Show. But Dan's also MLB The Show enthusiast, but I got a different thing for you. And finally is the tank top sexy man, Daniel Fox.
No, I know you must be looking at a mirror because you are the tank top
Thanks,
sexy
King.
man. But let's get her going.
All right, let's get into it now. And I'm Ellis Gordon. You know me by now, but let's get into it.
Russian
We're
machine.
gonna start with, the Russian machine. That's some like to call me. All right, but let's get into it. All right, let's move on to some MLB midseason recap. What's going on, Fox and Jacob? Let's carry this segment. How are the Yankees doing? How are the Red Sox? Surprises, disappointments. Acuna, rip that. So with the new half the year gone, what's your new outlook? All right, let's first kick it off with give us some surprises, Jacob and Dan, and I'll pitch in a little too, maybe.
Dan, you want to go first or me?
Yeah,
I'm worried we're going to have the same one. Is he in the AL East?
Are you the Red Sox?
Nah.
Oh, no. I'm doing the Red Sox and the Giants.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so my surprises are two teams that have the two best records in baseball.
Oh, I thought we were doing players.
You can do that too. You can do that too. Nah, he's good. You can do players. Go.
Yeah, you do teams or players. So my surprise are the two teams with the two best records in baseball, the San Francisco Giants and the Boston Red Sox. Start with the Giants. I mean, everyone overlooked them with the Padres and the Dodgers, but they found the fountain of youth with Buster Posey, Evan Longoria, Brandon Crawford having career seasons, and they've hit on all their free agent starting pitchers, whether it be Kevin Gossman or Alex Wood or Anthony DeSclafani. And, you keep expecting them to fall off, but they're 6 up on the Padres and a huge lead for at least a playoff spot. So with half a season gone, you got to say they're one of the big surprises. And, of course, my boys from Boston, I told you they play competitive baseball. Look up. They have the best record in the AL. Bounce back season from JD Martinez, Devers and Bogarts returning to 2019 form. And this bullpen led by former Yankees Adam Ottavino and Garrett Whitlock. They just called up top prospect Jarren Duran. So things are looking good for the Red Sox. So Jacob, what do you have for surprises?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take two players, one from the Orioles, one from the Cubs. I'll start with my surprise. I think Daniel knows who I'm talking about here. Cedric Mullins for the Orioles, having an unreal season, hitting .315, 16 steals, 35 RBI, 16 homers, and 50 runs scored. Just one of the best center fielders in the game right now. I believe he was snubbed from the All-Star game, right, Danny?
No, he made it.
He made it. Did he start?
Yeah.
All
He was originally snubbed from the starting lineup.
Yeah. But, Cedric Mullins, my surprise of the year, kind of came out of nowhere. I haven't heard his name before this year or the end of last year, but he's done a great job this season. And my disappointment, setting the Cubs, I think Danny knows who it is. First baseman Anthony Rizzo, having a pretty bad year compared to what he's expected to have, hitting .240, only 10 homers, only 30 RBI. And overall, this Cubs team has just been disappointing with so much star power there. I mean, their pitching is obviously not the greatest, but their bullpen's good. The back end of the bullpen, they got Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Wilson Contreras. They got a good lineup. But Anthony Rizzo has just been very disappointing this year. And I think that's a big reason the Cubs are struggling so much. Ellis, what do you got?
Yeah, I got
Ellis, let me just do disappointment quick, and then you could go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm going to go with another disappointing team, this time in the AL Central. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Twins. They won the division last year, 100 wins in 2019, but they've fallen apart. after the Byron Buxton injury, I mean, Josh Johnson and Nelson Cruz are really their only good hitters. Mitch Garver, or Polanco, Miguel Sano, they're just not up to what they were in 2019. Neither is Max Kepler. And then the rotation is as bad as it gets. Kenta Maeda was a Cy Young contender. He's an ERA near 5. Jay Happy has an ERA near 6. They're going to be sellers, and it looks like their contending window is over. And then just the injuries, man. No one likes to see injuries. I bet even Jacob, who said some pretty harsh things, has never wished injury on anybody. Maybe he has.
Yeah, never.
But yeah, the fact that Mike Trout's out for 6 weeks, Acuna's been out, is towards ACL. Byron Buxton was having a career year MVP year, and he's out. Just as DeGrom's been on and off the, missing a couple, getting taken out of a couple starts with injuries. So it's just disappointing to see. With the shortened season last year, injuries have been up.
Yeah, I think the best part about baseball, before I say my surprises and disappointments, is that for some reason, maybe Dan knows why, I don't really know, but you get a lot of surprises. Like players that you've never heard of starting to break. Maybe just because how it's so mental, the game. So if you're hot, you're hot. But yeah, there's always a bunch of new players you never heard of raking every year. But my surprises are going to go to the pitching side, not the hitting side. And it's going to be 2 pitching cores, and it's the Brewers and Mariners, who both are pitching, having great seasons pitching. Mariners went from league worst ERA, dropped it by 2. I think they're at 3.2 now. And the Brewers might have the best pitching staff in all of the MLB. At least they're pitching like it, with Corbin Burns leading the way. So those are my surprises. My disappointments have to do with some teams who are wasting great talent. Let's start with the Reds. Castellanos Winker, the best 1-2 punch in the league, and they're just faltering. And let's bring it back to the Angels. I know they don't have the best team, especially pitching-wise, but they're wasting Walsh. I know Trout's injured, but wasting Walsh and Ohtani's unbelievable season. It could also be a surprise, Ohtani, but yeah, which is really disappointing to me.
Jared Walsh, another surprise.
Yeah, well, I said that, but I want to see the Ohtani, and I want to see the show in the playoffs. But it's not looking like that the way the Angels are playing, which is unfortunate. But yeah, those are my surprises and disappointment. Let's run down. We've had a half season full of perspective. We gave our predictions at the beginning of the season, who are MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. But now that we got more time, Jacob, Dan, what do we think?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Danny. You go first.
You go, Jacob.
All right. Thank you, King. So, you want me to do all 3 or just go one by one?
You just go all 3.
All right. MVPs. I'll start off with that. AL is actually kind of tricky, I think. I think it's definitely between Ohtani and Vladdy. Mm-hmm. But I think it's got to go to Shohei at this point in the season, just because he's doing both, leading the league in home runs and RBI, and his pitching stats are crazy. In the NL, I'm going to go Tatis on this one. First player in a long time to lead his respective league in steals and homers. But DeGrom definitely a close contender for MVP. Cy Young, I'll give it to DeGrom in the NL, having an unreal season. Has had some injury problems, but regardless, having a crazy, ridiculous season. In the AL, it's not an expected guy. I'm gonna go Lance Lynn of the White Sox. Has a sub 2 ERA. I'm pretty sure. 31 walks to 105 strikeouts. Yeah, 1.99 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. Having an unreal season. He's the only AL star with a sub 2 ERA, which is something else. But some second place people: Kyle Gibson, Carlos Rodon, maybe throw Garrett Cole in there, but probably not at this point with the way he's been performing. Next up, Rookie of the Year. NL, actually I'll go AL first. I think AL has got to be Alex Garcia of the Rangers. 22 homers, hitting 270, having a great year, came out of nowhere. But Danny, it's Jared Walsh, rookie.
Yeah.
He is. Also, Jared Walsh could be contender in the AL. For the NL, not as much star power, but I think you got to give it to Trevor Rogers, the submarine pitcher on the Marlins.
No, he's not submarine.
No, that's the guy on the Giants. That's the guy on the Giants. Yeah, Trevor Rogers, starting pitcher for the Marlins. He got the team affinity card, 98 overall team affinity card.
Oh, yeah? Oh, team affinity.
And 2.3 ERA, 1 WHIP, 122 strikeouts, 34 walks, having an unreal year. But yeah, those are all my predictions for the awards. Danny, what you got?
Yeah, I think we're in lockstep here for a lot of them. I'm going Ohtani. I don't really think it's that close. just
Do you
if
think
he was
even
hitting,
if
just hitting,
Fox, even if Vlad wins Triple Crown, you still think Ohtani wins it?
well, we'll get there when we get there. But Otani's up in home runs right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's been an over and above average pitcher. He's been a dominant pitcher.
Yeah.
So him in the AL, and I agree with you, Tatis in the NL. It's his show now. Homers and steals. He's, top 2 player in baseball. Then for Cy Young, I think we all agreed to DeGrom in the NL. And AL Cy Young is definitely the toughest of the categories, but I'm going to give it to Kyle Gibson,
Yep.
Lance Lynn, and Carlos Rodon, the other 2 white contenders, like top contenders in my mind, have both missed time for injuries. Gibson's taking the ball every 5th day. He's second in the AL in ERA.
You think Gibson's getting traded?
What?
You think he's getting
Yeah, I
traded?
think he gets traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. That'll be interesting. I can't remember the last time a Cy Young Award winner has
Traded.
switched teams midseason. What?
Huh?
Oh, that's traded. I'm trying to think. There's one recently, I feel like. Anyway, and then for Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia for the Texas Rangers. He's all-star, 5th in the AL in home runs, 6th in RBIs. He's having a great season. So a lot of Rangers here for a bad team. And the NL, I agree with you, Roger. He's been dominant for the Marlins, clear top rookie in the NL.
And World Series prediction, Danny, who you got?
I have the Houston Astros. I think their offense is at levels even greater than 17 and 19. I know you're loving that, Jacob. And their pitching staff, they've got a lot of great young pitchers. We'll see if they can get Verlander back at the end for a postseason run. That would make them really scary. And then the NL, I still got the Dodgers. I mean, they've been up and down with bats. Having a bit of a down season. Obviously, what happened with Trevor Bauer, but even with that, they're still the second best record in the NL. They haven't even really gotten going yet. So I have Dodgers, Astros again.
Yeah, so I was going to agree with you, but for the podcast's sake, I will switch it up. I'm gonna take Red Sox, Dodgers.
Really? You're picking the Red Sox? What? You're picking the Red Sox and I'm not? Wow.
My top choice is the Astros, but just podcast's sake, like.
All right, I would have thought you picked the White Sox over that with them.
Or the White Sox. White Sox are too injured.
Yeah, I don't think the Red Sox have the pitching depth to shut down the Astros.
I'm worried about, yeah.
And they've played terrible against the Astros this season. But yeah, Ellis, back to you. Those are our baseball predictions at midseason.
I want to be a little headstrong here. I picked the Padres at the beginning of the season. I'll stick with them. I know they're behind the Dodgers and Giants right now, but I think they have a good second half of the season. They might get wild card, but I'll still stick with them for now. And then I'll Dodgers in my second. Red Sox, I think if they get, I don't know if they're in contention for Kyle Gibson, but if they get a starting, let's say an all-star starting caliber pitcher at the trade deadline.
Oh, they got Chris Sale. Chris Sale's their guy.
Fox, you cannot say that.
But I don't. That's what I was going to mention, Chris Sale. I don't trust Chris Sale will be back to his full self when he comes back. At least not for a bit. He might be good.
But
Still.
even 80% Chris Sale is as good as any pitcher you could get.
I'm still going to say I think they need one more pitcher, one more all-star caliber arm, and I'll pick them for the World Series. But for now, I'll stick with the Astros. But with the contention, if they trade for a pitcher, they will. I think the Red Sox will win the World Series. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go on to one stat track really quick because I found this so interesting and I need to share. It was really interesting. All right. This is an NBA stat track. 2 NBA players. They don't play the same position, but they're both forwards. So you can make of that what you will.
Yeah.
All right. Player A. And they're both role play. They're both not stars. I'll say that. Player A. 11.3 points per game. 11.3 points per game. 7.3 rebounds. 2.1 assists. 50%. For 83%, and is a good defender. Player B, 13.9 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 54, 35, 83 slash line, and average defender. Who are player A and B? This might be my hardest stat track of all time.
Wait, can you repeat player B?
Yeah, 13.9, 8.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 54, 35, 83 slash line, and is an average defender.
Are either of them? Who's the guy that gets the rebounds on the Lakers? I'm forgetting his name. The one they brought in, Drummond, right?
He's not a role player.
Who Drummond? Yeah, he's kind of no, it's not Drummond. But I can see that being Drummond. These are really hard. Like I would be shocked to get it. I'll be very impressed. So if you want a clue, I'll give you one. But try first.
Wiggins,
Just a
maybe.
guess.
No. Yeah, guess one and then guess.
Wait, what's the position?
Yeah, I'll give you that. Player A plays forward, but I would say he's more of a small forward. Player B, I would say he's more of a power forward. But in the NBA, don't let that make you.
Are either of them on playoff teams? Like, is it like
they're both on playoff teams.
You're giving me the whole NBA here. Like, you're giving me hundreds of forwards.
Yeah, sorry. I'll give you more clues because these are hard and they're not stars. Both are on playoff teams. Player A is in the West. Player B is in the East.
Are either of them in the playoffs still?
No.
Okay. All right. So you got Hawks. Kevin Herter.
No. Herter is more of a guard in my opinion.
Maybe it's a dumb choice, but Blake Griffin?
No, I can give it to you guys if you don't.
No. I want more. I want to figure it out. Tell me the team. Tell me the team.
Well, then it's gonna be really easy. You want me to tell you the team for one or two?
Tell us one team.
Player A is on the Jazz.
Ingles.
No. Other
Bogdanovich.
Other role 4. The third one.
Favors.
That's more of another one.
I mean, Gobert's not really a role player, but
no, he's a starter.
He's a good 3-point shooter. He's a 3-and-D player on the Jazz. He has an Irish name.
Wow. How am I?
I'm not sure you're referring to.
This is embarrassing now.
Wait, who are you referring to?
Royce O'Neal.
Oh.
I did not know who he was.
Anyway, so that's similar stats to player B, who won the team. It's a forward on the East on the Hawks.
Oh, so it wasn't the Hawks.
It was, but not Herter.
Hey.
It's not Herter. Is it Bogdanovich?
No, Jacob.
What?
This you should get way more than Royce O'Neal.
Don't give it to me.
The forward on the Hawks. Boy, there's not that many forward on the Hawks.
There's so many.
On the Hawks? No, there's not. There's like 4. And you already picked one.
Not Herter.
No, it's not Herter.
Not Bogdanovich.
There's really only 2 smart answers you can give here, and I'll respect you for 2 of them.
I'm blanking. I'm not in basketball mode. Don't tell me.
I'm not sure.
Bro,
I'm trying to think of all the Sun games.
this is supposed to be quick.
Don't tell me.
There's 2 forwards that could be posting similar to these stats on the Hawks. Literally just search up the Hawks roster if you need to.
Oh, I can look at the roster?
Well, if you want to, you
I
can.
mean, we
I can't
can.
otherwise.
This is gonna make it. I'm gonna know it the second I see it.
Yeah,
Well,
so
then do
look
it.
at
Colin.
Yeah, it's John Collins. But
He's not a role player at all, Ellis. He's a starter. He's a bona fide all-star.
as I proved to you, nah. He's a starter, but in my opinion, he's not.
All right. So if you say he's a starter, you can't say he's a role player.
He's a role player on the team. Point is,
No, you can't say that.
yeah, I believe Royce O'Neal kind of starts too some games. Anyway, point is, John Collins and Royce O'Neal similar stats, but one is it might get maxed, and the other's getting a minimum. So I also love Royce O'Neal in 2K. He's a great 3D player.
Do
That
they
won't
really-
take that long.
Do they really think John Collins might get maxed?
He's not going to.
He's
He's
like
gonna get a lot
23
more.
years old.
What?
I'm not saying he's not.
20
I'm not saying he's not good, but max.
Yeah, he's gonna get the max.
I don't
So-
think he deserves it. I think he's really overrated. Was the whole point of that. This wax sport of the week is World Moonrock Throwing Competition. All these wacky sports take place in Australia and New Zealand, and I hope I'm not repeating because I don't have a spreadsheet that I keep track. But I don't think we've done this one. It's in Northwest Queensland, Australia, and it's part of the Fossil Festival in Australia because, of course, why not? Moonrocks are new, unique stones found in the region, and they're the size of a golf ball, and or 1 ton. So you obviously can't throw a 1 ton, but even the size of a golf ball. They're not from the moon, but they're found. But a lot of moon rocks do contain fossils, and they have similar texture and look to rocks studied on the moon. So hence the name moon rocks. And shockingly, you pick a weight to throw in, and you throw it as far as you can, kind of like shot put, but with rocks. And obviously, guys, anyone can participate. So boys and like 10-year-olds will throw the golf-sized ones, and like men can like throw like the really, really big ones, or women, whatever. Whoever, gender doesn't matter. But yeah, so they range inside. They're really cool looking. You could search it up. I'll show you a picture of a moon rock right now. On my computer. Mind my loud tabs. I'm doing work. This is the moon rock. So yeah, that's the moon rock. That is our wax sport of the week, and let us conclude this pretty long episode. But it was a good one, as all episodes are. Thank you for tuning into episode 68. The show always goes on in the summer. Or we will be back in like 3 weeks, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the show goes on in the summer. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast on the spot on YouTube at Who's on Top, WHO'S-ONTOP with all the spaces. Subscribe, turn on notifications bell, all that stuff with YouTube. Comment if you want. Also subscribe to our podcast at Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, turn notifications so you always know when new episodes are out. They usually come out Sunday or Monday. And of the week, the beginning of the week, for a nice podcast for you. And and anywhere where you listen, other than Amazon, because Jeffrey Bezos told us no. Instagram, Twitter at what.podcast, WOT.PODCAST, capital for Twitter, lowercase for Instagram. Twitter is run by Fox. He's knowing the podcast is out and good stuff like that. He just posts kind of baseball.
So how about vaccine? Vaccine out?
Jeremy, you and Fox always don't know when that part's coming. It's coming up, Jeremy. Don't worry. Instagram, we got polls. We got like a lot of stuff like that. Face Shop, it's a good time over there. And you can use our link in our bio as another way to listen to our podcasts. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Thank you Is there any other notes? I don't think so.
Olympics coming up. Olympics is coming up.
Olympics is coming up. We're gonna try and have a debate series coming up. Oh, I forgot the tip off. Djokovic won Wimbledon and Barty won Wimbledon. So congrats to them. Good tournament by Coco Gauff, the ever fascinating Coco Gauff. In the tennis news. Sorry, that was part of tip off. I don't think there's any other notes. For speak now, forever hold your peace. All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. Hope you enjoy it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Drink water, suntan lotion, vaccines out, boys. Yeah, those are all your health notes.
Yep.
Dr. Ellis. Have a good week. Already said that. I think. Wow. All right. And goodbye.